If you're looking to file using Wealthsimple Tax, the free tax software that you can use to file your 2025 tax return this April, this is the video for you. I'm going to talk about and explain everything related to tax and how to file your tax return for the average person and to get you to save some money on taxes that you may otherwise not have known. Okay, what deductions and what credits to take. So you can see here we have our entire income tax return filled out in terms of the About Me section, all the personal information. Okay, so we already went through that in the previous video. Now we're going to talk about how to file the tax return and how to get you to save money. Okay, so for most people, you're going to have a T4 slip here. It'll be an employer name. You'll see an employment income over here. We're going to say it's $100,000. And we'll have some sort of income deducted here on line 22. Usually it's a little bit more, so we're going to say, we'll say it's 23,000 here, and you'll be sitting at a return of, let's say, $1,281 right now. Okay, but that's pretty standard. You're also going to have a couple things here most people will have is a T5 slip. So this is your income slip. So for your T5, you'll have other income. So here you can see this is your eligible dividends. This is your interest. So if you're not sure what any of these are, you can just click on it. Okay, and it'll explain to you what it is. So here you could just have RBC. We have employment interest income here, interest income from Canadian sources of, let's call it $5,000, and eligible dividends of, let's say, $2,000. You must also, okay, so we gotta input that taxable amount under both here. It has to be grossed up, so you'll have to do 2,000 times 1.1, what is it, 5. So what is that, 2,300. Okay, so we can see here, of course, if you're using the autofill account, your autofill and you're importing it from the CRA, you don't actually have to manually fill this in. If you have all the slips, you can just look at the slips and read it off and just like input it through the slip. But now we're looking at an owed amount of $777. So now we want to think about a couple things that would save us some money. So let's say you had an RRSP deduction. So your RRSP deduction here limit is, let's call it 100,000. That's your limit. Did you have any contributions to make? So we're going to say, yes, we did. We had it in our RRSP from January 1st, and we put, let's say, $3,000 here. Or more realistically, you're going to put 5,000. You're going to put 5,000. Now we have a refund of 833. That's just with the RRSP deduction that you get. We're also going to look at a couple things. Let's say you had union or professional fees as well. A lot of people miss this. So if you have a union fees or professional fees, this is how you input it. You go in, you type in union up here. It'll show up here, and you'll just write union or professional fees. These are generally between $1,000, $2,000. So we'll put it as 1,500. Another $500 change. Now we're sitting at a refund of $1,305. Continuing, we might have some donations. So if we had some donations, we would put down donations and gifts donated to a charity. We could say Red Cross Foundation, and we put $300 there, have a difference of $84. So this is, again, all these things are what generally people have. I'm just trying to show you a couple deductions here that you might have had that you might not know how to do. Medical expenses are, again, another one that people claim and they have. Okay, who is this? This is for me or my partner. So here they have an example of one. So medical expense, maybe you had a hearing aid that you did. Your type of expense was regular, and then you had the hearing aid cost you $6,000. Boom, our refund is growing up to $2,000 right now, which is really great. Other ones that we can look at, depending on what your situation is, we can keep scrolling down and just taking a look. All of these are right now we might have some business income. So if you're if you are a business owner, you would have to click this business T12125. A lot of these ones have not, they're not really very, very important here for us. Let's say we had a capital gain or loss, we would include that. So when you go through your other deductions, so this is a catch-all sort of thing. If you had any other deductions here that you can claim, you would input it as other line deduction, and you would describe it, whether it is, there are certain things that you can describe or deduct here that you can include, but we're not going to include that right now for other deductions. We just want the main ones here. So we have our donations, we have our medical, we have our tuition. Let's say we had a tuition one. So were you in a post-secondary student? Yes, you were. You would say the name, so maybe medical school. Of course, you would have the actual slip here that you would write. And these ones can be expensive. It could be $8,000 to $10,000 full-time, number of months, 12 months, and you can see how this is changing, right? It's going up to $3,197. So right now we've moved from owing $777 to having a refund of $3,197, almost a $4,000 swing if we're just looking at things here that you can deduct normally. Okay. Now, if you wanted to know how to deduct or how to do your statement for your business income, so if you had business income, this is the T2125 that you would have to fill out. Here you have all the different expenses that you can include down below, of course, and it'll go towards your tax return. Again, another one that most people would like to know as well is essentially being able to do your rental. So if you had any rental income, you would include it under this T776 Canada, and you would go through, again, all your rental income and expenses here that you can claim. So another one that a lot of people miss here, but you can see how user-friendly this Wealthsimple Tax is. You just go through and you can kind of click around and see what do I have, what's related, in my situation. You don't even really have to know what the statement numbers are. Right here you can see this is your T5008. Again, if you had any sales of shares, then you would include this in your T5008 statement. Okay, so yeah, you'll just go through all of these different deductions here, and there's a bunch here that you can use, that you can see, but for the most part, the main ones are the ones that are already given to you, right? Which is what we already went through. So this is kind of how you file your tax return using Wealthsimple. It's free, so it's on a donation basis. You can donate $0. It'll be completely free for you. And once you're done, you'll be able to actually review and optimize. So it'll give you some questions about, some things you might want to look at, something you might want to optimize that it'll save you more in taxes. And then you can just click here to file. It'll essentially send it to the CRA. If you want to use Wealthsimple Tax, click the link in the description. If you fund your account by $100, you'll get $25 there. So that's a $25 return, 25% return. That $100, you don't need to keep it. It's your money. You can always just put it back into your account later. And yeah, so it's really good that you have this option. And again, when you're using Wealthsimple Tax, the software, it is completely free, super user friendly, and just overall, just an easy way to go through and file your tax, file your tax return. If you like this video, subscribe to the channel. There'll be more videos like this showing you practical Canadian tax guidance videos. Like and subscribe. Remember, this is general information, not personalized tax advice.